Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. Here I am with another important guesstimate question, and the question is to estimate the number of flights that take off from an airport. Yes, the number of flights that take off from an airport. I am giving you 5 seconds so that you can think about the question and have some initial approach ready, right? So it will help you to build your acumen to solve guesstimate questions. I hope you have thought something about this question. Let's dig deep into this. As usual, we will go with our first step to ask clarifying questions. The first question which we can ask is about the kind of planes we are thinking about. So basically, planes can be of different types, right? It can be cargo planes, defense airplanes, or passenger planes. So what kind of airplanes should we consider here? Let's assume that we are thinking about passenger airplanes. The second question which we can ask is about the airport. What kind of airport we are thinking about here? Is this airport in tier 1 city or tier 2 city? Why am I asking this question? It is very important you to know beforehand why you are asking this question. So why I ask this question is because busy airports are always operational. But some airports which are not very traffic heavy will have non-operational hours also. Let's assume that we are thinking about Bangalore International Airport, and we all know that Bangalore Airport is kind of a traffic heavy airport. The third question which we can ask is about the time frame. Are we calculating the number of flights that take off in a year or a month or in a day? Let's assume that the interviewer wants us to calculate the number of flights that take off in a day. Finally, the fourth question which we can ask is about the domestic or international flights. Are we focusing on domestic flights or international flights are also included in this question? Let's assume that all kind of passenger flights are included in this, be it domestic flights or international flights, right? Since we have clarified all the questions and a fair idea of what is being asked in the interview question, it is time to form the goal of the problem so that you and your interviewer are on the same page and you have summarized whatever you have been asked in the clarifying question. So the goal of the problem is to estimate the number of passenger flights that take off from the Bangalore airport in a day. So how do you think you would go about solving this problem? There can be multiple ways to solve the same problem. Let's start with the high level equation and the walkthrough of the solution. Since we want to calculate the number of flights that take off in a day, let's start with the 24 hours in a day and bifurcate them into peak operational hours and non-peak operational hours. Previously in the clarifying question, we have assumed that airport to be Bangalore airport, so it is a busy airport. Hence, we don't have to consider non-operational hours. But if you think about the small airport like Jaipur airport, we may have to consider non-operational hours as well, where no flights take off. Right? So this is the key point here. After taking account the peak and the non-peak hour, we will consider runway throughput rate. What I mean by runway throughput rate? Runway throughput rate is basically how many airplanes take off on one runway in 1 hour. So if you see in a peak hour, the planes are lined up, right? They are lined up as soon as one plane takes off, another plane is also started taking off. So this is how the flights take off. So runway throughput rate would be determined by the time in between two flights that take off, right? From there, we will be having the flights that take off and land during peak hours and non-peak hours because the number of runways are limited. Same runway will be used for takeoff and for land both. So from here, we will be getting a number of flights that take off and land both in peak and the non-peak hours. After this, we can assume that number of flights that take off and land are in an equal proportion. So we can calculate the number of flights that take off by just dividing it by 2 or like making the number half. Let's start putting those numbers to get the final estimate. There are 24 hours in a day. Assuming that 8 hours are peak operational hours and 16 hours the non-peak operational hours. Assuming in peak hour, in every 3 minutes a flight takes off or lands. That will give you around 20 flights per hour. So here we assume that the time interval between two flights taken off or land is around 3 minutes. So in 60 minutes, 20 flights will take off or land. Similarly, in non-peak hour, every 6 minutes a flights take off or land. That will give around 10 flights per hour. There are 3 runways in Bangalore airport. So total number of flights that take off or land in peak operational are around 8 multiplied by 20 multiplied by 3. So this will give around 480 flights in peak operational hour. And in non-peak operational hour, the total number of flights that take off or land will be around 16 multiplied by 10 multiplied by 3. That will give you around 480, another 480 flights in the non-peak operational hour. But we need to calculate flights that take off. That would be 980 divided by 2 because we have assumed that number of flights that take off or land would be equal. This will give around 480 flights that take off from an Bangalore airport in a day. I hope you have learned something new from this video. If you have any doubt, please do comment in the comment section. We'll try to answer your queries. Here we have taken a lot of assumptions as well. Please do take care of them. Till then, keep learning and keep watching.